Second function of kidney, we just wrote the answer. Kidney needs to control concentration of water, concentration of salt in blood. We call that process osmoregulation. Jawapan sepatutnya senang. There's 2 questions, 5 marks, 5 marks. Supposed to be easy question. It's sweating. Okay. So ada 2 soalan, 5 markah, 5 markah. It's a very step-by-step easy explanation. So we'll go to the first one. Under osmoregulation, if I'm using symbol like this, it means concentration. A square bracket that you see here means concentration. So in this diagram, what you see on the screen is concentration of water. You can't use this for your exam. To save space, I'm using that symbol to show is concentration. If your blood concentration of water is lower, kalau dalam darah kepekatan air rendah, blood concentration increase. Blood become hypotonic. If your blood don't have enough water, blood concentration increase, blood become hypotonic. Chapter 1, transpiration. In transpiration, you learn root pressure once upon a time, root pressure, capillary action, transpiration pool. Ini 3 you belajar. When I explain about root pressure, when I was explaining about root pressure, I already told you something. You need to know about osmotic pressure. I already explained that time. You need to know osmotic pressure, and I told you that time. I'll explain about osmotic pressure now. You'll use it later under chapter 3 under kidney explanation. We are now in that question. Dulu saya bagi tahu, you kena tahu osmotic pressure. To save time, if I ask all of you what happens to the, I'm supposed to ask you what happens to the osmotic pressure of blood. I'm supposed to ask you that, but not enough time. So I'll give you the answer straight. I want you to write in your notes, osmotic pressure follows, write that in your notes. I'll write it here for you. Osmotic pressure follows concentration of solution. Write that in your notes. Osmotic pressure follows concentration of solution. Itu paling senang untuk kamu ingat. Osmotic pressure follows concentration of solution. What is the solution in this question? Blood. If blood concentration increase, osmotic pressure will follow the same direction. Osmotic pressure also increase. They follow the same direction. So osmotic pressure follows the same direction with concentration of the solution. Soalan ini blood. Blood concentration increase, osmotic pressure increase, 1 mark. Biasanya tak ada markah. Ini dalam soalan. The question will mention osmotic pressure of blood increase. You need to understand osmotic pressure increase means the blood has less water, as you can see in the diagram. Why we must use osmotic pressure? This question has osmoreceptor. Osmoreceptor will not detect concentration. Osmoreceptor will not detect concentration of blood. They detect osmotic pressure of blood. Any student who have class at 4:50, some of you said if you have to go for the class, you can log out. I'm finishing the class a bit late because we started a bit late earlier. Sorry. There'll be a recording which maybe you can watch. I'll give a link later. I repeat, anyone who has a class, you need to go for the class. No problem. Okay. I repeat, kita mesti guna osmoreceptor. Sebab itu jawapan mesti, the question must be in terms of osmotic pressure. If you don't know the meaning of osmotic pressure, you can't answer the 10 marks question. Always remember, osmotic pressure follows concentration of solution. Osmoreceptor hypothalamus will detect. Ini hypothalamus, right, in the middle of the brain. If I zoom in, ini hypothalamus. Under hypothalamus, there is an important gland, pituitary gland, which we are going to use now. So what's going to happen is, hypothalamus, after osmoreceptor detect, hypothalamus stimulates pituitary gland to release this hormone, antidiuretic hormone. First time mesti bagi nama penuh. Antidiuretic hormone. Lepas itu short form you can use ADH. First time give the full name. Pituitary gland is here. Yes, ADH. Pituitary gland is here. From here, transport to kidney. How? By using blood. I put that in the answer, but no marks given. I always like to make sure I put in the sentence, hormone is transported by blood to target organ. What's the target organ? Kidney. Inside kidney, we have nephron, Bowman's capsule, proximal, loop of Henle, distal, collecting duct. Ada 5 nama. From that 5, only 2 will be affected by ADH. Only 2. Which 2? Distal, collecting duct. Bowman's capsule, proximal, loop of Henle not affected. Only distal, only collecting duct affected. How? Easy. White cylinder, distal convoluted tubule, they have filtrate. Red cylinder, blood capillary, every tubule is surrounded by blood capillary. Fine. Naturally, secara semula jadi, naturally, we reabsorb water. From the filtrate, you reabsorb into blood. Proximal convoluted tubule do that. Loop of Henle also do that. Reabsorb water. Tapi sekarang, your blood don't have enough water. There is not enough water in the blood. There is water in the filtrate. You leave it in the filtrate, they'll come out in urine. Your blood don't have enough. So we need to reabsorb more water. Darah tak cukup air, kita kena serap balik lagi banyak air. Tak mau air itu keluar dalam urine. Less water will be in the urine. How to do that? That's where ADH comes in. ADH arrive to kidney, they only function in distal collecting duct. What will the ADH do? It will make more water to be reabsorbed. Lagi banyak air sebab darah tak cukup air. When you reabsorb more water, any homeostasis answer must have a happy ending. Osmotic pressure decrease back to normal. That's your 5 marks. Osmoreceptor hypothalamus 1 mark. Pituitary gland ADH 1 mark. ADH is going to do something in here. That's something you need to tell me. According to this animation, kalau ada ADH, more water reabsorb. More water reabsorb. So that means this tubule is becoming more permeable or less permeable to water. It's becoming more permeable or less permeable to water. You need to give me the answer. More or less. Dalam bahasa Malaysia, telap. Lebih telap atau kurang telap terhadap air. Easy. So, ADH, what does it do? What does ADH do? It will, this is the word you need. ADH, full name is antidiuretic hormone. It's in your notes. Later I'll show you, it's in the notes. What ADH do? Increases permeability distal convoluted tubule collecting duct towards water. I repeat the 5 marks. Osmoreceptor detect 1 mark, hypothalamus. Pituitary gland release ADH 1 mark. What ADH do? Increases permeability distal, this whole sentence. Third mark. More water reabsorb into blood. Fifth mark. From the filtrate into blood. Sorry, fourth mark. Your last mark is the happy ending. Osmotic pressure decrease back to normal. 5 markah senang. Osmoreceptor, pituitary gland, function of ADH, more water reabsorb, happy ending, decrease back to normal. You can add one more sentence. I am asking you. If you already do this, you reabsorb more water, will you make more urine or less urine? Will you make more urine or less urine? That's your last one mark. Less urine, concentrated urine. That's how easy osmoregulation supposed to be. Kalau saya kembali kepada nota, if I go back to your notes, I'll also put this in the WhatsApp group later. Okay, if I go back to your notes, I already fill in this in the earlier class. Right, this one. This is the answer. You're supposed to write in page 13. No need to copy now. I'll put it in the WhatsApp group later, but I'm just showing you the answer. Where is your marks? Osmoreceptor, first point. Pituitary gland, ADH, second point. Function of ADH, increased permeability, third point. More water reabsorb, fourth point. Happy ending, fifth point. Kalau you nak volume of blood, volume of urine decrease, itu extra lagi satu. So ada 6, the first 5 is the answer. I'll don't need to copy now. I'll put this in the WhatsApp group. And if you look at the question, ini, this is the question in page 9. Question C. Individual are less water, more salt. Less water. Individual are less water in blood. He needs ADH. How many marks? 5 marks. This question is 10 marks. 5 marks is to write back what you have in the notes. I just showed you the answer. 5 marks. I'll quickly explain the other one.